The book of Revelation, chapter 6 and verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, all glory, all praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Rakahakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostles, bishops, and elders, a great millstone. I want to give double honors to the high priest elders that taught those men. Salutations to you brothers that are presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice, pushing the gospel of the Lord, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, through the four corners of the earth, and to the believers, the Akim and Akwathian, to you I say Shalom. His brother Baum Malak out of Great Millstone Camp, Austin, coming at you with a quick lesson. And just the name of this lesson is that was given unto him a great sword. And who is that him? That this verse, Revelation 6 and 4, is talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called self-professed white man on the planet Earth. He was given a blessing by our forefather Isaac, who had two sons, Jacob and Esau. And he gave him, Esau, what? The sword. And we're going to prove it through just by reading the scriptures, man. You know, because Esau is not the Arab people. You know, because you got many amongst the circumcision preaching or teaching that Esau is the Arabs. And we're going to prove that Esau is not the Arabs, Salakia, that the Arabian people are not what Esau, but the so-called self-professed white man on the planet Earth. He is indeed Esau, Edom, you know, who the Bible speaks of. So let's go right to it. We're going to go right to the blessing of our forefather Isaac blessing Esau with the sword. Let's go. The book of Genesis, chapter 27. And we're going to start at verse 38. And it reads, And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept, because Esau is a natural born fucking cry, loser. So all he do is cry. That's why he's bringing wrath upon 2/3 of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. What? Because he's blaming you for the economy. He's blaming you for the way things are going in America. So all they do is cry about it. But he was blessed with that sword. So what? He can also demonstrate his power with that sword. That's why now he's got the National Guard, you know, in the streets of D.C. and maybe in California as well. And what? He's giving them their weapon because they was blessed with that sword. Verse 39, And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. Verse 40, And by the sword, the modern day weapon, the 9mm, you know, the F-14, the F-18, you know, the intercontinental ballistic missiles, nuclear missiles, you know what? It said, By the sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion. He have dominion what? Over the whole earth. Esau, because the earth is given. Matter of fact, let's get it. It's talking about dominion. It's talking about the entire earth, right? Go to Job. Chapter 9, we got to read. So we got to read this every day because we Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, that's still a mystery, even in 2025, that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. The book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And we know that Esau, Edom, what? He don't change the faces of the judges. He made himself to be JC, to be what? A so-called white man, to what? To represent white supremacy. So when you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans see him, you'll look at him as if he's the what? The anointed, Hamashiach. That's why y'all are so infatuated. That's why he can't do no wrong in y'all eyes, because what? He made himself to be a God to you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because what? The Lord Yahweh Shai got y'all under that delusion, the veil of a delusion. And y'all believe this. You know, it said again, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is it? We know that the Chinese man haven't given you a Chinese God. We know that the Japanese, the Ammon, they haven't given you a Japanese God. The only person on the earth that has done this is Esau Edom, the so-called self-professed white man on the planet Earth. So let's go back to it. The book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 40. It said, and by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion over the whole earth, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And he never broke that yoke, that yoke of that veil of telling you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans that y'all are biblical Israelites. So he kept that veil, that dominion, that yoke of iron, which is what a spiritual yoke of iron that he have over you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans head right now. So again, but the point was, and by the sword shalt thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother. Why? Because let's go right here. Right here it says, we got a headline, and we just going to stay right to the headline. It says, Donald Trump said he wants a Department of War, not a Department of Defense. Donald Trump has said that he plans to rebrand the Department of Defense by returning to the pre-1947 name, the Department of War. The U.S. president raised the idea while signing executive orders in the Oval Office with his Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, standing behind it. So what? Because the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. That's exactly what the wicked would do. But our forefather Isaac, blessed him with the sword. And it said, and by the sword shalt thou live. So Esau Edom can only think about what? Constant war, because they was blessed with this sword. And again, we're going to go to the book of Genesis 25. I think I got it right here. The book of Genesis 25, it said, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. But we're going to read this in the case, in the red blue letter, because we got to dispute, we got to debunk the Arabians Esau. 25. Because you have to chew the meat and spit out the bone, man. We're going to Genesis 25. Just going to read the same precept again. It's Genesis 25 and 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. We're going to go to the blue letter, and we're going to look up Esau. Because it's all about debunking. Number one, again, Esau. Let's see what it said.
Strong's H, 6215. Esau.
And we go down here to the outline of biblical usage. We're going to read it. It said Esau hairy, wasted away his eat. Joshua. It said the eldest son of Isaac, and Rebekah, the twin brother of Jacob, sold a birthright for food when he was hungry, and a divine blessing went to Jacob. Then they get right here and they say he's the progenitor of the Arab people. And that's the lie. That Esau, he also, because the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. That's one of the biggest lies. The one biggest lies on the planet Earth is that the progenitor of the Arab people. The Arab people was not blessed with a sword. Esau was blessed with the sword. And we're going to prove it right here. Let's go. Right. We're going to the Google. Nope, that ain't the one I want right now. Let's see. It said, because what again? Genesis 27 and verse 40. And by the sword shalt thou live. Nope, matter of fact, 39. And Isaac his father said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. Verse 40. And by the sword shalt thou live. And by the sword shalt thou live. And now we're going to go over here. See, in August of 2022, the Biden department approved 3 billion sales of Patriot missiles to the Saudi Arabian government, pretty much, and 2.2 billion to the United Arab Emirates, despite pledging pledging in 2019 a campaign to make Saudi Arabia a para. So if the Arab people were the so-called Esau, they would be already blessed with a sword. They wouldn't have to go to the U.S. to purchase their swords. And to further prove this along, let's see, the Saudi Arabian, and this out of Google, so it said the Saudi Arabian military industrial semi is a state-owned defense company launched in 2017 by the Saudi Arabian public, invested to fund to provide military products and services in Saudi Arabia and to reduce the country's reliance on foreign purchase of military products. So if the Saudi Arabian people were the Edomites or Esau, they wouldn't have to purchase no weapons from no one. But they purchased their weapons, again, from America. In August, and Esau, Edom, what are the so-called white man, in America today. So you have to go in and you have to chew the meat and spit out the bones. And again, in August of 2022, the Biden department approved 3 billion sales for the Patriot missiles to Saudi Arabia. So if the Saudi Arabia is the Arab people were the Edomites, they would have their own weapons placed. And it wouldn't take them to 2017 to start building their own weapons. This is Esau, Edom. He was blessed with that sword, the so-called self-professed white man. That's why Trump says he wanted what? Trump says he wanted the Department of War, not the Department of Defense. Because what? War is in his heart, man. Matter of fact, let's get that. Because I think that's, because his word, let's go. Yeah, that's matter of fact, that's Psalms 55. If I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong. See. Psalms 55. Say words were softer than butter. Yeah, right here. It said the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. That's why Esau always thinking about war, man. Trump wants a Department of War because that's Esau. That's a MO. These are markers so you'll know, who is Esau, Edom. These are markers so you'll know like, oh, they always talking about war. It's not the Saudi Arabian people. It's always Esau, Edom. Again, back to Psalms 55. We're going to read it. Psalms 55 and verse 21, the words in his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawing swords, because Esau was what? He was blessed with the sword. So now that you understand who Esau, Edom is, now you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans can start pinpointing, when these things are starting to take place on the planet Earth, y'all have an idea why. Because the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And we know that Esau is the wicked and pursuant to the book of Malachi, the first chapter. Go read it. So this was just a quick lesson. We're going to close it out there. I want to give all honor, all glory, all praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekah HaKwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. I want to give double honors to the high priest elders that taught those men. Salutations to you brothers that are presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice, pushing the gospel of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, through the four corners of the earth, and to the believers, the Akim and Akwathan, and to you I say, Shalom.